That's me. But you're not there yet. You're at the start of the video, so let's rewind. You owe it to yourself to find out how you can save a load of money by purchasing the electric vehicle that tried to kill me. Fuel prices are rocketing and electric cars are still overpriced. You've considered an e-bike for your commute, but you can't get it on the train or keep it secure from thieves. Compared to e-bikes, it's ridiculously cheap and yet outperforms electric bikes that cost 5 times as much. Bit of pedaling there to get the X24 off the mark. Of course, you cannot do that on the skateboard, and yet it still beats the bike to the blue car and also to the weird tree. Gone past the first telegraph pole, and it looks like the board is pulling ahead, and it passes the telegraph pole now, and now the X24 finishes. The £1,800 bike was in full sport mode and still couldn't beat the £400 board. This skateboard gives the absolute best cost to performance ratio available to the consumer. Not only that, but it's also one of the most convenient. If you've dismissed electric skateboards, that's because you haven't seen this, the Wowgo 3E. It is a £400 electric skateboard, but it's not the same as your usual £400 electric skateboard. Search best beginner electric skateboard and you'll get a whole load of thumbnails of middle-aged blokes holding some random board with the title best beginner board. Now this middle-aged bloke has received his fair share of beginner boards, but I've never had that thumbnail. But that might be about to change, because this actually might be the best beginner board you can actually get, especially for £400.
Electric boards, bro.
Yeah.
They are, man.
But surely a hill climb over a long distance will be different, right? Right? 3, 2, 1, go! And away they go, and already you can see how fast the Wowgo 3E is gone. Already past the first lamppost. Only just the X24 has got there. The Wowgo is already going past the fat tree and easily past the grit box, way ahead already. X24 is squeezing past the grit box and slowing down, and yet the Wowgo is already onto the corner. I don't know what I'm saying on the X24, trying to get a power reading. Now I know that it reached apparently 1,500 watts up that hill, and yet the Wowgo is done. All over. And that time of 48 seconds puts the Wowgo 3E into an amazing second place, just behind the more than twice as expensive Exway Flex Pro and 5 seconds faster than the £2,700 Wow Cyber e-bike. It obviously smashed the X24 to pieces, and the bike's time will be revealed when I post the full review, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. By the way, if you are enjoying the video, don't forget there is a thumbs up button that you can now press to show your appreciation. Now it's plain to see that the performance of this board is ridiculous for £400. The e-bike is nearly 5 times the price, and it's basically the Wowgo's whipping boy. But maybe you're thinking that speed is all well and good, but I don't want to kill myself. I want a nice relaxed ride. Well, look no further. Riding an electric skateboard at lower speeds is one of the most relaxing pastimes there is. Quite often, if I need to pop to the shops, I won't take the car. I'll throw in a backpack and I'll take the board. And unlike an e-bike, you don't have to worry about locking it up. You can just take it in with you. The handle on the Wowgo 3E is really convenient. In fact, I didn't even like the idea of a handle at first, but it's perfectly balanced and makes the board so much easier to carry. I'm now choosing the 3E over even mini boards for my quick errands. But now you're thinking, well, hang on, bikes can go over mud and gravel. Some of my commute is over mud and gravel. That board can't do that. Now these bright orange wheels are not the same kind of wheels that you get on your best ever beginner budget board. You see, what your usual best budget board has are what we call hub motors, meaning in the back wheels there's actually the motors that push you forward. But what that means is your wheels have got to be solid because they're motors. Now this board's belt driven, and a £400 belt driven board is absolutely unheard of. We have motors on the outside, they turn pulleys, which in turn turn the wheels. And what that means is your wheels can be nice and hollow and nice and soft and nice and comfortable. Now one misconception with skateboards is the fact that people think that you can't go over like rocks and gravel and things like that. But actually you can, because the wheels are actually pretty big. However, when faced with something like this, the other huge advantage of having belt drive instead of hub drive is that it's really easy to change the wheels. That means, whoa, you can swap out the standard orange street wheels
For these 105mm off-road wheels, semi-off-road wheels that can get over that stuff and might even be able to get over this grass. They're larger, meaning you can just roll over a lot more stuff than normal street wheels, but also they're even more comfortable than the already pretty comfy orange street wheels.
But this is only the tip of the iceberg. You aren't limited to just these wheels. You can get even larger wheels. You can get wheels that work really well on wet surfaces. There are nearly unlimited options compared to hub drive boards, and this is why the Wowgo 3E is amazing as a beginner board, because not only can you ride the board and get used to an electric skateboard, but you can change the wheels to suit you, whether that means changing the type of wheel or simply the colour of the wheels. It's this customization that makes the Wowgo 3E the ideal entry point to electric skateboarding as a hobby. But that's not even the coolest thing about belt drive boards. That can be summed up in 2 words: belt wine. You'll get a manual, stickers, spare belts, 2-amp charger that charges the board in 2.5 hours, a remote that controls the board, and a USB-C charge cable, a T-tool for adjusting the trucks, and another tool with some Allen keys. The remote's readout is nice and clear, and I like that it only has 1 button. That's really all you need, and when a remote has 2 buttons, I always end up pressing the wrong one and it does nothing. When you turn on the remote, the board turns on too, so you don't have to lean over to press the button on the board. The board is made from an 8-ply Canadian maple and has a max load of 150 kilograms. It also features a nice foam grip tape to add extra comfort. The board is nice and flexy, which also increases its ability to absorb shocks from bumpy roads. The deck is really nice, and I'm glad it has bash guards to help protect it. I also like the gold hardware and the way the power button lights up orange. Nice touch. The board has 2 650 watt motors which give a top speed of 28 miles per hour or 45 kilometers per hour. The battery has a capacity of 216 watt hours, and Wowgo say it should be able to last about 13 miles or 21 kilometers with a 75 kilogram rider traveling at a constant 30 kilometers per hour. I like that they specified the exact conditions for their given range. I'm about 100 kilograms and going a bit faster than 30, I got about 8 miles, which I thought was pretty good.
Now let's be clear, this is not a beginner board. What Wowgo have done is they've created a board, a great board, and then just priced it the same as a beginner board. And then if you are a beginner, this is the best board to buy, especially if you're interested in e-skate as a hobby and not just for commuting. There's even an app you can download to link to your board, and it'll let you change all the characteristics.
But this isn't a review if I don't talk about the negative, because of course nothing's perfect. When it arrived, one of the motors was acting a little weird and sometimes not spinning, but Wowgo did provide a replacement which arrived quite quickly. Although I really like the design of the board, there's way too much writing on it. Sure, you have your brand name and the model of the board, but you don't need the passion on the go slogan. Keep that on the box and the website. Also, do be careful going down hills on an electric skateboard. If the roads are wet, it can be hazardous, especially on standard urethane street wheels like the orange ones that you can see. Now, while this board is water resistant and you can ride it in rain, I wouldn't recommend it, as I wouldn't recommend most boards, mainly because most boards don't have mudguards. Also, electric skateboards use electronic brakes that actually recharge the battery when used, but if the battery is fully charged, to prevent overvolting the battery and potentially causing a fire, the electric speed controller is designed to cut out. But if it does cut out, then you have no brakes, and that can be quite dangerous if you're going down a hill. Ah, good, you've caught up. Now you're here, have a good look and let me know how you think this happened. Despite my current predicament, I do stand by what I've said, both about the Wowgo 3E and electric skateboarding in general. It might not look like it right now, but I love it. I am hooked. I'm also falling. Luckily, I can run faster than you'd think. Luckily, this is completely avoidable. 1, make sure you don't go down a big hill if you've only just charged the battery, and 2, if you're going to be riding in the wet a lot, get the appropriate wheels. Normal skateboard wheels are very slippy when wet. If you're a regular to the channel, you'll know that I love both e-bikes and e-boards. If I had to commute a long distance, I probably would still pick an e-bike, but as a last mile solution, I don't think you can beat an electric skateboard, especially for the price. E-unicycles are quite expensive and e-scooters are frowned upon. E-boards are perfect when traveling around your local area or to and from the train or bus station, and the handle on the Wowgo makes it even easier. If you're interested in electric skateboards for commuting, you should also check out my Meepo V5 Epic range test and review. We put this board up against an e-bike ridden by Meg in a number of tests, so check that out if you want to know which came out on top and if we made it back. It was an insanely fun video to make, and unlike the Wowgo, the Meepo V5 is a hub board and they do have some advantages over belt drive. Find out what they are by watching that video.
Well, you've been watching the e-VRC, and that was the Wowgo 3E. If you're interested in that money-saving, brilliant board, feel free to use the links in the description below. They are affiliate links, so if you do use them, it does help out the channel. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, and if you like e-skate or e-bike content, don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, ride safe.